to ask a general question about the American P&I Club. How is the club doing now?
Well, thank you, Marcos, and thank you very much indeed for giving us the opportunity of talking to you this morning. It's a great pleasure to be back in Athens. This is a very, very important part of the world for the American Club, and all sorts of exciting things are now happening here. So far as the club itself is concerned, it's doing rather well, I think, at the moment. We are enjoying, and we hope that we will continue to enjoy, quite a good claims year. Our retained claims are developing favourably at present, at least at this early stage as the year matures. Pool claims are relatively benign, unremarkable in the sense that there's no particularly bad trend developing so far. Our tonnage is remaining stable and strong. Our premium rating has remained also stable, which is a good sign, I think, against the general trend of what is called the churn effect over the recent years, where as older vessels are sold and scrapped, newer vessels come into the picture, and of course they tend to attract rather lower rates. But our average rating per ton has been remarkably stable over the last several years. And our claims have also been stable, and as I said earlier, for 2015 they seem to be developing very favourably at present. The investment markets at the moment, as everybody knows, are volatile. We are at the middle of November, a little ahead for the year by about 25 basis points, which is probably better than some, I suspect. We tend to perform rather well in relation to our investment performance year to year, and we're hopeful that if things pick up once the Federal Reserve has decided finally what it wants to do about interest rates towards the end of the year, that circumstances might improve there. We have, as you know, and I'll talk about a very big one in a moment, but we have, as you know, certain diversifications that we've been engaged in recent years. The Eagle Ocean Marine Facility, which is a fixed premium facility for smaller vessels, for operators in local and regional trades, is performing well. The premium volume there has remained steady and strong over recent years. It started in 2011. We can now offer cover up to 500 million if required. We typically insure vessels of around about 2,500 gross tons on average, but we can go up to about 12,500, although the average is somewhat smaller than that. That is developing nicely. The last 2 or 3 years have shown very good claims development, and at the moment it's running at a combined ratio of about 64%, which implies a nice level of profitability, which of course benefits the club, because the club is the primary insurer in that particular facility. One of the most important things that has occurred in the recent past for the club, and in fact one of the most important things that have occurred for many years, is the new alliance that we formed with Hellenic Hull, going forward into American Hellenic, which will be an American club subsidiary engaged in hull insurance globally, based in Cyprus. And my colleagues, Mr. Solarino and Ms. Ioannou, will talk more to that. They have been very intimately involved in the development of that initiative over the past several months with Ilias Sakis and his team at Hellenic Hull Management. And we are very excited indeed at the opportunities that that new alliance, and beyond that into the foundation of American Hellenic, will bring to the club and to American Hellenic in all kinds of synergistic ways in developing new business for both the club and the hull insurer.
Much, Mr. Hughes. Now I wanted to ask Mr. Solarino about what does this cooperation means for the American club and the hull market.
Thank you, Marcos, for the question. Let me start first by saying, what does Greece mean to the American club? When the American club started business in 1917, it was predominantly a U.S. flag business. In 1998, we became a full pooling member of the international group. We must be part of that international group. It's a powerful pooling mechanism, reinsurance mechanism, and it offers high limits of cover for ship owners. That's what they need to operate. In order to get into the international group, we have to diversify and internationalize our business, our book of business. As an investment portfolio needs to be diversified to hedge against risk, well, you need to diversify your insurance portfolios so that we have a diversified risk. And that was a requirement also for the international group application. So Greece played a major role in accomplishing that for us. We started with Greek tonnage to spread out our risk into the international arena, and we are happy to be here in Greece, and we're thankful for the Greek participation in the American Club. When we heard of this potential opportunity, we thought it was an impossibility to put both together a whole mutual that was in business for 21 years and a part of Greek legacy. We wanted to be part of that Greek legacy. We wanted to save part of that Greek legacy, and the way we had devised an investment structure allowed us to make an investment in Hellenic Hull, and at the same time start the process of forming a new hull insurance company, which is a fixed insurance company, unlike the Hellenic Hull, which was a mutual and it was assessable policies. That's not the typical traditional hull insurance makeup. So we have created American Hellenic Hull Insurance Company in Cyprus, and that will be a successor company. So American Hellenic Hull Insurance is not a startup company, really. It's a successor company, and it's carrying on the legacy of Hellenic Hull Mutual. And we think that is going to benefit the Greek community, continue to benefit the Greek community and the Cypriot community, and maintain a part of legacy and a capacity here in Greece and in Cyprus that the Greeks and the brokers in Greece and Cyprus do want to have. There are other opportunities in terms of how it's going to help the Greek ship owners in potentially opening up new doors for us, the American Club, on the P&I side, and on the hull side as well. And maybe Dorothea could add how she sees, because she's the Global Business Development Director for the American Club, and she can interpret how that will play out for her role as gaining more business worldwide with this new product line and with this new alliance with a Greek legacy.
Yes, Mr. Ioannou, do you want to add something about this cooperation?
Yes, I've been with the American Club now for 10 years, and steadily through these past 10 years, the commitment and the dedication that the American Club has to the Greek market has consistently just gotten stronger. We started off as a 4-person office here in 2005, and now we're about to become 11 people here in Greece with a full staff. And basically the way I see this, and the way I think the market sees it, is it just solidifies the respect and the acknowledgement that the American Club has for the Greek market. But specifically now, while we're getting stronger and stronger with our presence through the office, the synergy can only give us more options and actually create a greater enthusiasm for what the American Club has to offer. Mm-hmm. For me, and now working with Elias only for the past few months, has been extremely productive, because we take both sides of the know-how in both sides of the market, and we create a stronger front based here. In terms of the Greek ship owner, gives him more options, number one. One of the things that people have said in the past is that, yes, the Greek market is the strongest, or it's the center, let's say, of the shipping market. It's the strongest sector within the shipping market, but they haven't been able to create, let's say, a strong insurance capacity. Well, Elias did that for the last 21 years. Certain circumstances caused certain problems for the Hellenic, but now with the American Club, connecting with them, we've managed to maintain that capacity and potentially make it a lot stronger. And that really shows how, how the Greek shipping market can create more options, and how the American Club with the Greek shipping market can become a major player on both sides, both on the P&I and on the hull side.
What are the important aspects of cooperation between the American Club and Hellenic Hull Management?
Start with that. The cooperation is going very well. First of all, we work very well with Ilias Sekiris and Ilias Bublis and their team. It's important to have a good team in place. If you don't trust the management team, you really can't trust the product. And I think the product is made by the expertise of the teams. That's true for the P&I Club, the American P&I Club, or any P&I Club, as well as for any hull insurance company. You have to have the know-how, you have to have the good team. Now that opens up a lot of doors for us by having another product line, as Dorothea was saying. We have been traveling recently since the announcement has been made that we have contracted to come up with this alliance between the two operations, and it has opened quite a few doors for us. We're seeing brokers that we hadn't seen before. We're seeing members, potential members that we haven't seen before, and there is an overall excitement. People in the marketplace want to know more about what's going on. The American Club was not as well known in some sectors of the market, and since we have made this announcement and we have been making some visits, the American Club has been renewed, the name has been renewed, and people are now recognizing, that we are another of the international group P&I clubs. So we have identified our brand, and we're expanding the brand, and at the same time helping to continue on the Hellenic Hull insurance product within the framework and the family of the American P&I Club.
And I think, sorry, just to add to that, one of the other significant aspects of the cooperation is not only about the American P&I Club getting into certain sectors within the Greek market that they didn't have access to, but it's also about giving a Greek insurance capacity or Greek Cypriot insurance capacity, such as now the American Hellenic, to become global. Something that they did not have the option to do before. So it's multi-levels of how the synergy and how the cross-selling can work, and it simply gives us more things to talk about with the market globally. And one of the other things I wanted to add, simply from a business development perspective, is that if you think about right now what's going on in the market, basically it's probably at its lowest point, especially in the dry market in history. And so thinking about how we're going to be looking at renewals, that's somewhat of a difficult thing to think about, because how much more money can you ask from a ship owner that's barely making his OpEx right now? But so the way we look at it, it's not about trying to squeeze more money out of anybody, but it's simply about offering more options, so that this way there's benefit towards the ship owner and there's benefit towards ultimately the American Club and its synergy.
One of the key issues, I think, for the modern P&I Club is to stay ahead of the curve. And part of that curve, of course, is greater diversification, I believe. You have traditionalist clubs, you have those that are sometimes regarded as modernizers. We at the American Club regard ourselves very much as modernizers. Staying ahead of that curve requires enhanced service capabilities, a growing global footprint, and the ability to offer a broader range of product lines. We're doing all those things. In relation to global footprint, we recently opened an office in Dalian in northern China to provide a local service, a Mandarin-based local service for our growing northern Chinese constituency of members, for both the American Club, EOM, and increasingly, of course, for American Hellenic in due course. The win-win capabilities of this particular initiative in that sense are huge, and we're very, very excited about it, and it's part of the larger policy of growing the stature of the American Club with American Hellenic, with all that we do for the years ahead. And Greece is an absolutely central part of that. Greece is the jewel in our crown.
What Joe had just said, how does this help the Greek ship owner? Well, by making the American Club stronger and having an alliance with a hull insurance company as well, and catering to the Greek market and the Cypriot market, well, the stronger the American Club becomes, the more secure the service is going to be to a good part of our membership, which is the Greek membership. So increasing our profile, increasing our strength will only benefit the Greek ship owner, because we've always been here for the Greek ship owner, and we're proud to have Greek ship owners, and Greeks are proud to be in a Greek affiliated operation as well. That's part of the legacy that we want to continue. That's some of the benefits that will be enjoyed by Greek ship owners.
Yes, and one of the other things that I would want to mention here is that the American Club, when they opened up their office from the beginning, the whole thought process and the whole strategy was about investing in this market. So they didn't, although the office was originally opened by a Greek American who now runs the claims globally for the American Club, his assignment was temporary. The long-term strategy of the office was to invest in local talent, local people that have which we know have the know-how to deal with the shipping market. So right now you have an office that's 10 people of Greeks. I'm the only one that's not born and raised here, although I come from Greek Cypriot parents. But we have Greek qualified lawyers, we have Greek lawyers that are qualified in London and New York, we have Greek average adjusters, we have Greek claims experts, and some of these people have also worked abroad as well, so they understand, and a lot of them worked in-house, a lot of them worked for broking houses, so they understand the full range and the full level of service that the Greek ship owner wants. And riding on from that, one of the reasons why I'm very proud to say that I have been trusted with the position of the global business development is that this model in this market works so well, and it's our strongest part of the membership, is that this is the idea that we want to take and make sure that that's what we're doing on a global level, because we believe that if what we're doing is we're doing a good job servicing the most sophisticated users of P&I in the world. So once if we can do that here, then we know we can do that anywhere.
And the most important is you continue to invest in this deal during the capital, in the middle of the capital controls here in Greece.
Yes, there was quite a big concern in Greece. There is a financial crisis. There are capital controls being imposed on banks, on insurance companies. It was a tenuous time. During the process of reviewing the deal, as we call it, to form an alliance or cooperation with Hellenic Hull Mutual, we had to struggle with that issue as well. But our focus was on making this work. And despite the crisis, the financial crisis, and all the capital controls, what we chose to do was to further invest in Greece, not to escape and to back out. So we strengthened our presence, we strengthened our team, and we have continued to expand and protect this area, as well as our own employees. During the crisis, we did what we needed to do to assure everyone that we were not going to be backing out or abandoning them. Well, we're not going to abandon the Greek market either. I think when a friend is in need, you need to stick around. That's where your true friends are really found out, when your friend sticks around in the hard times.